So in this video, I just wanted to go through the syllabus with all of you. I'm just going to go through the Word document that you have so you can follow along if you want, instead of making a slide deck like I will for most of the other videos in this class. So this document you can find under either the syllabus tab, or I put it in the modules under the week 1 module. It should be under the welcome video so that you can see the syllabus and you can always refer to the syllabus. This is a tentative syllabus. I might change the schedule or maybe some of the assignments on the schedule at some point. If that's the case, I'll update it and then I'll let you know through the announcements or through a video that week that I've updated the syllabus and how I did so if I need to change it during the semester. So as I introduce myself in the welcome video, you can call me Clarissa or Professor Steele or Dr. Steele if that's how you want to address me in emails. And my email address is right here, crsteele@ksu.edu. You can either email me through your K-State email. I'm in the directory, so if you don't want to have to remember my email address, you can just start writing Clarissa. There aren't very many on campus, so you should be able to find me fairly easily. Or you can contact me on the left side menu on Canvas through the contact. I am one of the people that you can message. If you message, it goes straight to my email, so they go to the same place. Like I don't even notice how you contacted me. So that's the best way to contact me if you have any questions. I also have my phone number here. If there's an emergency, you can text me. And when I say an emergency, I mean something probably in this class, most likely, like if you're in the test and you're taking the test and then you have a technical difficulty and the test won't let you back in, that would be a time that you could text me. It would also be okay if you emailed me at that point because I may or may not be available to help you at that point, but we'll figure something out for you to finish your test. If you text me, I will get back to you at some point. The problem is I leave my phone on silent. So if you call me, I likely will not see the call until way later. So if that's the case, you call me, you can leave a message. Don't freak out. I'll get back to you at some point and we'll figure it out. I don't have official office hours for this class. I'm not sure how many of you will need to make appointments, or if there's a time that would work for everyone. So I figured we'll just make appointments when we need to, and we can talk on Zoom or by phone if you wanted. And most of the time students want to talk to me like after the test, they want to go through their tests together. We can do that on Zoom. That's pretty easy. If you're on campus or in Manhattan and would want to come to campus, you can set up an appointment either in person or on Zoom, or you're welcome to come to my office hours Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m. I have an in-person class, and that's the office hours for that class. I'm happy to help any students coming into my office. I just figured for those of you who are online only and have to meet with me on Zoom, it wouldn't be fair to have you try to meet with me during my office hours with students who are in person, because then it becomes kind of a mess trying to figure out who do you focus on when there's multiple students in your office during office hours. So hopefully that works for you. You can email me if you want to set up an appointment and we can talk whenever is helpful for you. So in this class, we have one required textbook. It's Compensation. It's from Gerhardt. It's the latest edition of this book, so it's the 14th edition. And you'll be able to access that through McGraw-Hill Connect. And I've put some videos and helpful links in the modules page. On the very top, there's a getting started box with some of those connections. So you can figure out how to register for the McGraw-Hill Connect system and the textbook, and then how to actually use that system, because we'll use that every week for not only reading the chapter, but also our smart book assignments that we'll have every week. So you can either connect through those links, or there should be a McGraw-Hill Connect link on the left side menu in Canvas as well. You can also connect that way. The very first time you get into Connect, it will ask you if you don't already have a registration to register with McGraw-Hill. If you've used McGraw-Hill in other classes, you can use that same registration for this class. And you should be connected to our class automatically so that you can buy the textbook and then have access to the Connect system. If you have any questions, though, let me know. I also have the information for anyone who has any questions. I'll put it up in Canvas as well. But that way, then, if there's anything like that you can't figure out or tech support can't help you with, I can talk to the rep that is available to me to see if we can get those solved. I'm going to let you go through the rest of this information on the front page here. It's just about the class, what we're going to cover, that sort of thing. I do want to go through each section after that, though. So my expectations for this class, and I'm sure you've had this in other classes, is that you're professional with me and with each other. And most of you are probably juniors and seniors, so I'm imagining you know what this means. be respectful, be open to other people's ideas. The discussion boards especially is where I would think we might have the most problem with this. I'm not expecting any problems, but that's where I'm going to ask for your opinion. Even if you disagree with someone, you can disagree respectfully. I'm not going to require that you talk to each other in your messages, so you don't even have to reply to other students' thoughts or ideas in those discussion boards. It's really for you to think about what you think, but I think we can learn from each other, especially if we have different opinions about issues. And that's why I'm excited to kind of see what you all think about some of the issues that we're going to bring up in our compensation class this semester. We're going to use Canvas for everything. I'm sure if you're an online student, you use Canvas for all of your classes. If you're an in-person student, usually, but you're taking this class online because that's the only way we offer it this semester or this year, then feel free anytime you have questions to go to Canvas and see if you can get that question answered, or just email me. I will put up announcements every week, and I may make videos every week as well to sort of review what we just went through or to give you kind of an overview of the week ahead. The way I'm planning on organizing Canvas is that there will be a module for every week, and then the module will contain everything that you need in it. And I should have pages at the very beginning of every module with all of the links for all of the stuff that you will be doing that week within that module to keep you on task. Our grading is the normal grading for K-State classes. So it's just percentages get translated into letter grades. There's no plus or minus system here. So you can see what those are. The way I'm going to have Canvas do it is I'm going to have it count points, but you can always have those points. You can see them converted into percentages. So throughout the semester under the grade book, I'll keep up with the grades every week. So you should be able to see where you are at any point during the class. So maybe the thing you're most interested in is what kinds of things we're going to do in this class. I've tried to make it fairly simple. It's going to sound like we're doing a lot, but I'm just trying to keep you up with all of the chapters in the book so we can get through this pretty steadily over the semester. But I'm not trying to overwhelm you with the amount of work. The way I'm thinking about this class versus an in-person class is we don't really have formal class times. And actually, most of the videos most weeks should not equal a class time to watch all the videos. So I'm trying to give you other activities like smart book exercises and discussion boards and assignments so that you can interact with the material and the content in class and learn it a little bit better and maybe in a more in-depth way than you would if I just had you read a book and then take a quiz every week. So if it feels like you're doing busy work, it's not busy work because I want you to be busy. It's going to feel like busy work potentially because you're just doing a lot of stuff every week to keep up with the content. So let's go through the parts of the class. We'll have 3 exams, and if you watched the welcome video already, you'll know that those exams happen in week 5, 10, and during finals week. All of the exams will be 50 multiple choice questions, and you'll just have to cover the material from that part of the class. There's no comprehensive final at the end. You will be able to use your notes in your textbook. I would like you to not use the internet or artificial intelligence during your exams, but and also don't talk to each other during your exams. And what I'm going to do is you're going to have a time limit for your exams of 75 minutes. And even though you can use your notes, the test intends for you to know the material pretty well, so you don't have to look at your notes very often. Or you won't be able to get through the exam in that time. So we'll talk about it more when we get closer to week 5 for our first exam, but that's how I usually do my exams in my classes. So if you've had me before as a teacher, it'll be the same thing in this class. We'll have a syllabus quiz that's worth 10 points this first week. It's just to make sure that you understand the policies in the syllabus. It should be a fairly easy quiz. You can take it as many times as you want until you pass it with the 10 points. You can use the syllabus when you're taking the quiz. I'm not making you memorize the syllabus, so feel free to use this video or look up the syllabus when you're doing that quiz. We'll have chapter smart book exercises. I will say in the welcome video, I call these quizzes because originally I was just going to call them quizzes, but I'm going to keep them as smart book exercises because McGraw-Hill calls them smart book for everything, including their introductory video. So I'll just do that so it's very clear for you what you're doing. These exercises are tied to the textbook, so you can either read the chapter in the book first and then try these exercises, or you can try the exercises and then when you're not passing all of the questions for that part of the book, it'll tell you to go back and read that part of the book. So you can do it either way. And you can keep doing the smart book exercises until you get the grade you want. What happens is the smart book exercises break up the chapter into concepts, and then you have 2 questions for each concept in the chapter that I want the smart book exercise to cover. These are not going to be very fast, so don't wait until the last minute every week to do these exercises. I would chunk out like an hour at a time to work on this. You should be able to get it done in an hour or two, unless you keep getting the answers wrong, and then it'll keep giving you questions until you kind of have mastered that content for that specific section of the book. But this should help you get through this book and understand the concepts in the book as well, because they're breaking down that chapter into each of those concepts. It's also keeping tabs of what you understood pretty quickly and pretty easily versus what you didn't, to help you study later for the tests. And so you'll have those every week. They'll be tied to each chapter, and I'll put those up in the Canvas module for each week. Some weeks you'll have discussion boards. So about 2/3 of the class, 2/3 of the weeks, you'll have discussion boards. The discussion boards are really things that are not necessarily in our textbook, but are contemporary issues or current issues around compensation that I'd like you to do a little research on some weeks, and then give your opinion about what you learned from that research. You are not going to be required to respond to each other that way. If you want to post your discussion board post on Sunday night before it's due, you can do that without having to worry about trying to figure out who's going to respond to whom for those points. But you are welcome to respond to each other and have discussions if you'd like. I'm very curious to see what your opinions are about some of these issues, because they're issues that are in the news in the last few months that are related to compensation. When we don't have discussion boards, we're going to have weekly assignments. So there are 4 weeks where we have weekly assignments. I want you to note the discussion boards are worth 10 points, and I'll try to point out how you get those full 10 points each week on the discussion board. For the weekly assignments, I'm making them 15 points because I imagine they'll take a little more time. Most of them, or all of them maybe, are from the book. So they're going to be organized. There's a scenario, and then you're going to have to answer questions around that scenario using the content from that chapter. And I'll be grading those based on accuracy. How good are your answers compared to like the correct answer according to the book? There may be times where the answers, if you can argue one way or the other, I could give you points on that. We'll see how these assignments go. I've done them in my in-person class for this class, but I've never done them online. So we'll see how they work out. Those assignments don't go on a board. No one else sees them. You'll turn them in directly to me, and I'll put the links in every week in the module. We can make up exams and late work. I'm going to be honest, if you will just let me know ahead of time if you're going to turn in something late or you can't make a deadline, we can negotiate a new deadline for you. I can be pretty flexible. I know some of you are working full time, or you have childcare or other caregiving duties, or you just have other things that you're doing in your life that some weeks it's just not going to work for you to get everything done that week, especially because I'm only going 1 week at a time in this class. I'm not letting you work on class. So just let me know ahead of time. We can change your due dates in Canvas. Makeup exams, you would need to arrange those with me before the exam. So if you know, for example, that you're going to be gone for some kind of activity that week, or maybe you have a work conference or a work meeting that you're going to be gone all week and you can't take the exam, let me know and we can come up with another exam time for you. Or if you happen to be sick or have an emergency during the week and you can't take the exam, we'll figure it out. But otherwise, if you don't tell me ahead of time on the makeup exams or late work that you need a new due date or you need to negotiate a due date, I'll have to deduct 20% of your grade for each day that you're late on that assignment. So just keep that in mind. Just communicate with me like you would at any other job if you're going to be late, and we'll figure it out. If you have a disability, I am getting emails from the Student Access Center right now for my classes, but it's also nice if students can just let me know that they will have some accommodations. Sometimes I don't always get the emails at the beginning of the semester for students, and so I don't know that I'm going to have to make accommodations during the semester. So it's really helpful if you can tell me. But I can make any accommodation happen. I can also talk to the Student Access Center if I'm not sure how to do something. So it's just a nicety if you can tell me, but I'll get those letters if the Student Access Center contacts me for an accommodation for you. I'm a Safe Zone ally. That means I've gone through Safe Zone training. So if you need any resources on campus, or you're having some issues in your personal life that you want to talk to me about, I'm open to talking to you. Again, because we're on Zoom, that actually makes it more private for you to have that discussion. I can also meet with you on Zoom, not in my office, so that there aren't other people maybe distracting or anything as well. So if you have any issues or whatever, let me know. Email me. We can set up a time to talk. And then I put in the mental health resources that are available on campus. I know for some of you online, there may not be a lot of resources if you're not on campus directly, but there is like My SSP, which is support via chat and phone for health counseling, mental health counseling. So that might be something that some of you could take advantage of that maybe you didn't know about before the semester. So do inquire into those mental health resources. And again, if you need anything or aren't sure, just let me know and I can help find someone who can help you or can tell you more about what resources you have access to. Here's the statement about mutual respect and inclusion. Again, I expect you to be professional in our class and be inclusive with others. So I don't think this will be a problem. Same with discrimination, harassment, sexual harassment. So I can let you read those on your own time. And then I just put some other stuff about student resources and academic honesty. I am going to tell you, I'm okay with you all using AI in this class, but for most of the assignments, I really don't want you using it to write your discussion post, for example, or trying to do the assignment. I want you to work on that stuff on your own to see if you can understand the material, or like the research you've done for a discussion board, or if you understand the content in a book to kind of do it on an assignment. But if you need it to help you fix your grammar for a discussion board post, that's fine with me. If you have any questions about that, I know I didn't put an AI policy in here because I'm not going to teach you how to use AI, and I don't expect you to really use it at all if you don't need to in this class. But if you want to know what the policy is, or if you want to clarify whether you can use it or not, just email me and we can talk about it. And so then maybe the final thing that you're interested in is the tentative course schedule. I've put something here for every week so you can see what's going to be due each week. And then again, I'll organize Canvas in the modules so that all of this stuff is in the modules every single week. But you can see kind of what the topics are, what chapters we're going to go through. As you can see, by week 4, we're not even following the textbook anymore because chapter 17, I'm moving up. And then I've tried to highlight the test weeks here. I'm going to do a study guide for you a few weeks ahead of the test and then some example test questions before the first test. So you get a sense of what those questions will look like for the test. And then I've tried to highlight, for exam 2, when that will be. And then for the final exam time, it will be during that week. I'm going to have the test windows open during the whole week. And then that way you can take it whenever is helpful for you or when it works for your schedule. It won't be like one time for everyone, but I am going to use a bank of questions. So you will not get the same questions as other students in class. You may get completely different questions. So just be aware of that. You're not supposed to be working with each other or telling each other about the exams anyway. So I think this will work. So we'll see how it goes. Again, you can use your notes and the notes from class and your textbook on those exams. So that should be fairly easy for you to figure out. If you already know ahead of time that some of these weeks aren't going to work for you, email me now and we can figure out what to do for your exam. So I will stop the video here, but if you have any questions about the syllabus or if there's something that's not clear, just email me or send a message in Canvas and I'll clarify for you. If there may be things that I'm missing on here that I haven't talked about that in an in-person class, I would just have students ask about, but I can't hear. So your questions will help me clarify for the rest of the class any questions that people might have about the syllabus and our policies in class.